Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our regularly scheduled commission meeting, May 22nd, 2024. The time is now 7:07. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Bath.
Here.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Here.
Commissioner Kelly.
Present.
Commissioner Williams.
Here.
Mayor Taylor.
Here. As we stand by invocation, led by Commissioner Bass.
Wonderful Father, as we come before you today, we thank you, O God, for life, strength, and health. We thank you, O God, for giving us the opportunity, O God, to be servants, God. Help us, O God, to serve, O God, according to your will. Bless us all in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge of allegiance.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I just want to say before we get started, that as you see, the commission has on green in honor of Mental Health Month. So we want to make mention of that. Shout out to Vice Mayor who made everybody wear green on today. I have on green, it's in my tie. Thank you, Mayor. My tie has green, it's green and blue. All right, we're gonna move forward into our awards, proclamations, and acknowledgements. I see we have none. We're going into the approval of the consent agenda. Do I have any deferrals, deletions, or pulls at this moment for the consent agenda? All right,
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly.
number 3 and number 5.
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Williams.
number 2.
All right, so far I have 2, 3, and 5. Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor, on
Ma'am.
behalf of the city manager, I would like to defer number 5.
Okay, so I only have 2 and 3. All right,
Mr. Mayor.
Madam Clerk, run the
Mr.
consent agenda.
Oh,
All right. Okay, can I get a motion?
move it.
Moved by Commissioner Bass,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bath.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
okay, we're going into the approval of tonight's agenda, and I see we have an add-on. Madam Clerk, can you read for the record?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening. We have a request to amend the agenda to include 14.1, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, directing the city manager to allocate $50,000 for implementation of a summer youth jobs program and enter into an agreement with South Florida Workforce Investment Board pursuant to the terms and conditions set forth in Exhibit A, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This item is sponsored by Mayor Taylor. And again, this item will be included under new item 14.1.
Okay, and normally we state the emergency nature of this item. This item came before the commission a couple months ago, but we brought it back because we want to make sure that we push it forward so that our children have time to work in the summer. We just want to make sure, so that's why they're here, but we can further discuss when we get to it. Can I get a motion to add it to the agenda?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Vice Mayor. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
all right. Can we approve tonight's agenda?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner
Second.
Bass, second by Commissioner Kelly. This is the approval of tonight's agenda. Madam Clerk?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, we have a request from Attorney Robert Holland to defer agenda item 16B2, which is second reading ordinance, public hearing item, to the June 12th, 2024 regular commission meeting. However, the city manager, who is the sponsor, would like to move forward with that item.
Okay. All right, so
It's 16B2 or 1? I don't see.
One.
It's
16.
1, okay.
16B1, yes, second
which is
reading.
the property.
Yes.
Okay. I personally don't have an issue with deferring it, and the manager's not here either to discuss it either, so I would rather him be here.
I'm fine with deferring.
I'm okay with deferring, because that way he can be here. So at this point, we kind of split, because everybody didn't, I'm okay with deferring, we need to, let me know.
okay. I want to get it out the way.
You want to get it out the way? Okay, so that's
I'm
that's
okay
one.
with deferring either
That's-
way, it doesn't matter. As
That's-
long, if staff can answer the question, that's fine. We don't have to defer, we can address it tonight.
All right. So we have a little. Yes,
We're good for tonight.
we're good for tonight. Okay, so, we have. Madam Attorney? I'm gonna lean on you. Okay, so we have, I'm willing to defer, I don't mind deferring. Because the manager's not here, so Commissioner Williams said she's okay.
You can take a vote on it.
We can take a
and-
vote on
yes,
it.
sir.
All right, so Madam Clerk. A vote to defer.
Commissioner Bass,
No.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
No.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes,
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes to defer 3-0,
all right,
3-2, I'm sorry.
3-2. All right, so now we're going to the actual approval of the agenda. We did have a first and a second, but Madam Clerk, let's call it again. So can I get a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
move it.
Moved by Commissioner Kelly.
Second.
Second by, who said second?
Me.
By Commissioner Williams. Madam Clerk?
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes,
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, moving on to the approval of the minutes. We have two sets. One is the workshop meeting minutes, April 24th, 2024. And
move it.
moved by Commissioner Kelly,
Second.
second by Commissioner Williams. Can I get a vote?
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes,
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
all right. Moving down to the approval of minutes from the regular commission meeting minutes, April 24th,
Move it.
2020. Moved by Commissioner Williams,
Second.
second by Commissioner Bass. Can I get a vote?
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
yes,
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
all right. And do we have any District 1, District 2, or any state reports at this moment?
No,
All
Mr.
right.
Mayor.
All right, so we have two public presentations that's gonna take place right now. One is the Arpa expenditures done by Mr. Anathan. Budget administration to follow will be a hurricane preparedness by Chief Otley, in that order. Commissioner Kelly?
before, as they're coming, I want to be clear, on the deferred item, it's to the next commission meeting?
Yes, sir. to the
Okay, I just want to
committee.
be clear, thank you.
All right, so I repeat it again. It's the public presentation is the Opera expenditures by Mr. Anathan to follow the hurricane preparedness by Chief Otley. Mr. Anathan, you have the floor.
Mr. Mayor, Commission, Bob Anathan, Budget Administrator. We've been asked to update you on the status of the proposal for how the ARPA money will be spent. You have a presentation at your dais, and you also have it on the screen here. Very quickly, as you know, the city did receive $7,950,000 to be used as we saw fit for various projects that qualify under the ARPA program. Very quickly, next slide, please. I've broken this into two groups so it'll be more visible on the screen. The first group, there was a program put out for the community. They were 6 packages were offered of $250,000 per package. The community was asked to select 4 of those packages. That's what's listed in your first line there. I'll get into the detail in a moment. The remainder, as I said, in total, the city did receive $7,957,000, and the remainder will be in the grouping called other projects. Next slide, please. As I said, the community was asked to pick 4 out of 6 programs. The 4th and 5th programs tied, so it actually ended up being split. Right now, the projects that were selected and we're moving forward on, and you can see the status on the right of the screen. The Artscape, which is to implement art projects in public spaces in the city. It's on the RFP is under development. It was that program was paired with a trees in the medians and swales. That RFP is also under development. There was a proposal to improve the Helen Miller Siegel Inger Park renovation for $250,000. The initial portion of that's under contract right now. You may remember that's the trails for Siegel Park and the parking lot. Rental assistance program is very active. There have been about $150,000 provided so far. That program will continue until those funds are fully expended. There is a commercial grants program. That program is to be presented in June for your approval, and then it'll go forward at that point in time. The final one selected by the community was the fire station HR, the restoration of that one. That program is under design at this point. Are there any questions on this portion of the program?
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly?
thank you. Under the rental assistant, how much has been expended from that program? Because it's active and ongoing. And there's 250,000 that was allocated. How much is?
Yes, sir. Approximately 150,000.
150,000 has been expended?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we anticipate, I guess, the other 100,000 before the before the end of the year to be encumbered?
What I failed to, programs like this do not have to be encumbered. What we'll probably do is get the requirement let me reset. By December 31st this year, we have to be pretty well locked into the program that we're going to go forward with. Money has to be fully expended by December 31st, 2026. For most of the programs where we're going for an outside service, the funds will have to be encumbered. For a program like this, where it just keeps on going until the funds are expended, there is no process for encumbering those funds. What we'll probably do just to satisfy the ARPA requirements is just get verification through a resolution for the commission approves the allocation of these dollars.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, see, that's where I had a challenge with the probably, and we're probably going to do.
No, sir.
Because
Then I should have been more
Yeah,
definitive.
because that leaves it too much wiggle room, and this has to be encumbered, at least know what we're going to do. We may not spend it, and I understand it's not due fully until 25, 26, but I wanted to know how much was there, because what I don't want to see is getting to the last moment or something, and then we've got to create something to expend those dollars. If the commission needs to do something to maybe promote the program more or something, because the funds are not spent, we need to know that, since there's really 100,000 left and you're talking a few more months. So I'll wait on that response. The other one is the fire station. You said it's under design.
Yes, sir.
So when do we anticipate the design to come back in?
This portion, well, I'll have to defer. I'll defer on that one to the CIP manager. I don't have that answer at fingertips. But if I may go back to the rental assistance, those monies do not have to be spent until December 31st, 2028. Where you mentioned the term encumbrance, that encumbrances occur where we actually have a contract with an outside firm to provide the service. This is what we provide this on a case-by-case basis. The money goes to the landlord. We do a separate PO for them. Therefore, we don't have to have it formally encumbered by December 31st, 2026. To satisfy the requirement, what we will do is bring forward a resolution saying that the commission approves the program. That's all that's required.
So we have an outside firm actually doing this piece.
No, sir. I'm saying, what I said is when you have an outside project, such as construction, such as design, then you have to have a contract in place to do it. This one's being administered strictly internally so that we don't have a contract with somebody to provide $250,000. We're doing it on a case-by-case basis as various members of the community come forward. So this is a little bit different. These funds are not encumbered, don't have to be encumbered, but just to legitimize it, we will get a resolution saying the commission has approved this program.
I like that language, legitimize. That's interesting terminology. Okay, well, you can get that back
Yes, sir.
to us. And in terms of the fire station, you said you'll defer to the CIP
Manager. Yes.
manager. Okay.
So I don't have that immediately available. So these are the community selected projects. And if there are no further questions, we'll just go to the final slide. I'll go through it very quickly with you. You have seen, again, as the commissioner just said, these programs all have to be encumbered by December 31st of this year. Running through them very quickly, the Northwest 135th Street Water Main Project. It's been identified that there is a main of approximately 1,100 feet that has to be replaced. It's old. The pressure through it is not what it should be, and it needs to be replaced just for operational efficiency. The Rutland water main and meter relocation, those meters are situated on city property right now. They should be in front of the properties, individual properties. Going to move the main and also the meters for them. Sesame Street water main relocation. The water main right now is in an area that has a lot of contaminated soil. It's not a good place to have our main, have our people work. That main is going to be brought out of that area. Cairo Lane, long and strong. You can see, I should point out where there is other funds involved. I've also put that in as another, just so you get a sense of the entire project. And on the right-hand side, you'll see the status of each one of these projects. The sewer smart coverage and telemetry, that program's basically complete at this point. This is to provide information on the operating effectiveness of the sewer system. Pump stations, you got several pump stations there that either have to be relocated or rehabilitated. North District Water Distribution System, that project's underway right now. It's under contract. That's to replace asbestos pipes in the north part of our service area. 133 3rd Street sewer relocation. That project you need a better sewer system there. They're relocated to the middle of the road so that it has greater capacity and allows the adjacent properties to have a better connection to that system. Pump station flow meters, again, that's an RFP going out in June. That also relates to being able to measure what's going on in the system, the sewer system on a real-time basis to greatly improve the effectiveness and the efficiency of the system. Sewer system modeling, last $150,000, that's a DERM requirement, has to be done. Again, it relates to better operation of the sewer system. Down to the bottom, very importantly, consultants at the moment, I only have $33,000 in there. That's probably through the end of the fiscal year. They have a $400,000 contract. We've been using them very sparingly. Anything above $33,000, the ARPA funds have or will generate about $400,000 of interest. So anything above the $33,000 will be paid out of the additional interest, which I'm not showing on this page. Are there any questions about any of these projects?
Any questions to Ms. Anderson? Okay, so to the manager's office, and I'm gonna use Mr. Anderson's words to legitimize this will come back in a resolution form, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly?
thank you. What, the RFPs to be developed, what's the timeline on those coming back? Where are we on the development for that?
Okay, they're off the screen.
The Rutland Water Main
Yeah.
and the Sesame Street.
Those are brand new projects. They'll be probably put together in the next 30 days. We'll go out. They'll be back by the latter part of the summer. At that time, they'll go out for bid.
Okay, and the timeline for the proposals that have already been received, for the pump station 9 and
Yes.
16 and the 133rd Street.
They'll go through the evaluation board process. A recommendation will be brought forward to the commission. They'll go back out as with whoever receives the award.
No, but what's the timeline? I know the steps. What's the
Yeah.
timeline that you anticipate that will
I
come back to the
anticipate it
commission?
certainly will get to the commission by the second meeting in June and quite possibly by the first. Make that the second because the deadline for the first has already come in terms of submitting the agenda item.
Okay, and you mentioned that you only anticipate 33,000 for the consultants and any additional will come out of the ARPA interest, which
Yes,
is
sir.
that
Yes, sir.
you estimate is 400,000.
Yes, sir.
Does the interest that's sitting there that we've accumulated, does it have to be encumbered too, or are we allowed to
No,
carry
sir.
it over?
That can be used for any purpose. It does not have to be encumbered. Our number is 7,952,000.
So the 400,000, if we don't use it for consultant purposes, it's sitting there for general fund use.
For all purposes, for any fund, general fund or otherwise.
Okay, very good.
Sir.
Thank you. CIP person?
Okay,
She's coming momentarily.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Madam Attorney?
while she is coming, I just wanted to, put on the record that I haven't seen the ARPA funding brought in this manner. Legal, in all the places I'm aware of, we've been involved in some way to determine whether the uses are eligible under the statute. So I'm wondering if they can just put it on the record whether they've reviewed the eligible uses in comparison with the federal legislation to determine that these are all eligible uses. And I'm assuming also in follow up to the mayor's comment about it being a resolution format, that is going to happen prior to the time that the RFPs go out for individual projects under the global funding.
If I may address that twofold. One, that's what we have our consultants for. We have reviewed these projects with them and they said we're right on track in terms of what we're proposing. So that is not a problem. Again, the resolution is only for the one or two programs where there will not be a purchase order involved, i.e. the rental assistance. There will not be a resolution for each and every one of these projects. Probably just one of everything that.
Well, there should be a resolution for the global, just how you just broke it down and just put that on the chart. That should be a resolution so that it's clear that the commission is approving it, because there are audits that are done for these ARPA funds, and that should be approved by the commission. That's been done in every place I'm aware of. So I don't, I just want to put it on the record. I am a little uncomfortable if it's not coming back in that way. And I'm suggesting to management that it does.
Each one of these projects will come back to you as a proposed
So-
RFP.
Work with legal,
Yes, sir.
the manager's office.
Yes. And
Okay.
then the other thing, just for the record, even with your consultant, I still need to understand what it is. I've never seen this before. And my name goes on these resolutions to sign off on it for legal sufficiency. And that needs to be shared, even if they have a consultant. I'm not aware of who that is or, anything. So
Duly
I would
noted.
just ask that that information be shared. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Ms. Gross,
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and Commissioner.
good evening.
Which questions can I address?
The question about the fire station, he wanted to know, Commissioner Kelly, you had I don't know.
Commissioner Kelly, you have the question that when is coming back?
The design-
Ask Mr. Hampton. He
The-
said you knew the answer.
The design to the fire station.
The design of the fire station is underway. We are expecting complete plans in the next 60 days.
60 days for the
60
plan.
days for the complete plans, yes.
And then after the plans come back, it has to go through your review process and
It goes to review process and then we bring it out with a specification for an RFP.
then it will go out for an RP.
Yes,
RP got to come back in
yes.
and we've got to make sure it's encumbered before
December 31st.
December 31st of this year.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Chief,
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commission.
good evening.
Put the slide up, please, IT. A slide presentation on the City of Opa-locka's hurricane awareness. Today, we're going to be discussing the importance of understanding hurricanes, being prepared for them, and staying safe during these powerful storms. Hurricanes are a natural disaster, as we all know. They can be devastating and impact on communities sometimes beyond repair. But with the right knowledge and preparation, we can minimize the risks and protect ourselves. So hurricanes are powerful tropical storms. Slide 2. So between June 1st and November 30th, 97% of tropical activity occurs within these 6 months. The bottom line is we must be prepared. What you see before you is the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale, going from category 1, 2, 3 to category 5, which is catastrophic. We've had experience here in Miami-Dade County of catastrophic hurricanes and its impact on our community. And we as a city want to be prepared for that. Next slide. So we want to make sure the community prepares and is in preparation with supplies. So make sure we review and gather your supplies that you need in your home that you use on a daily basis, necessary items. Ensure that your food supplies has a shelf life of at least 6 months. Basic items are water, food, first aid supplies, clothing, bedding, tools, and emergency supplies, and special items that you may need depending on your needs in your home. Next. So water storage, make sure you store them in plastic containers. Avoid glass or milk, obviously, because milk cartons are paper products and decomposition occurs depending on the saturation of the water, depending on the hurricane and how it impacts your home. Glass can break and cause injury if, in fact, it falls somewhere in the home and you are not able to clean it up. Fill your bathtubs up with water. That'll serve as a reservoir in the event that you have a delay in receiving water from other sources. A minimum of 1 gallon of water per person is ideal, but more if you can. Keep at least a 3-day supply of water and food items per person. Storage, you want to have at least 3 days supply of non-perishable food, canned goods, something that doesn't require cooking. In the event that you don't have the ability to start a fire or heat your food, at least you can open the cans, have a can opener, and those types of things in order to be able to feed your families. Something that requires no refrigeration. Meals ready to eat out of a can, as we discussed, energy foods, energy bars, comfort foods, and stress foods, potato chips, something that's easy to eat and dispose of until you can replenish your food supplies. Next. First aid is very important because as we've experienced in other hurricane situations and storm conditions, we get injured. We get injured through going outside, cleaning up debris, even in the home. Through the wind damage, something may fall inside your home and break and injure you, or just running away to safety in your safe room. Things happen, and we have to be prepared for that. On a regular basis, we should have this: adhesive bandages, safety pins, cleansing agents, soap, latex gloves, sunscreens, gauze, pads, triangular bandages, prescription and non-prescription drugs. Very important. A lot of us forget that, especially if we're diabetic or we're hypertensive, we forget those types of medications, or we have a cardiac a heart disease. We have to remember that we have enough prescriptions from our physician beforehand. Tweezers, needles, moistened towelettes, antiseptics, thermometers in the event that we need them. Next. Don't forget insect repellents as well, because post-hurricanes, the insects come out, and we always have to be prepared for that as well. What comes with insects is disease. Clean clothes, always have them prepared and stored high. In the event that flooding occurs, you have them ready to sleep on and keep and be warm and have a change of clothes. Rain gear, boots, shoes, sleeping bags in the event of, sunglasses. Sanitation, we always want to remember that we need toilet paper, towelettes, liquid detergent, other hygiene items as you may need in your daily activities due to your family's needs. Want to have a plastic bucket with a lid in the event you need to wash clothes or you need to store certain items that could be perishable, that have the lid be able to be secured tightly in your residence. Disinfectants and household bleach. Next. Tools. Why are tools important? Tools are important. As we know, the last storm that came through Opa-locka, we had downed trees. Downed trees impacted some vehicles in our community. Tools are important to saws and hammers, nails, in order to make repairs on our homes and to repair our vehicles in the event we need to change batteries or tires in the event something like that happens to our vehicles. Make sure that you're prepared. fully prepared. Plan this ahead of time. You don't want to wait till the last minute and wish that you had these items. You want to have them prepared beforehand. Personal special items for infants, formula, diapers, bottles, powdered milk, etc. We always remember the adults, but also remember the babies and the seniors. We also want to remember the homeless. That's a part of our operational planning, and we can talk further on that as the time goes closer. Next. Storage of medicines and important documents. Want to keep them in plastic, waterproof, portable containers and Ziploc bags, something that you keep with you, close to you, because if they get wet, then you lose those important documents and your medicine as well. Next. So the city's ready for deployment. We have secured vendors and for ice, emergency rations for the first responders, sandbags, hand crank radios, flashlights, emergency kits. Our employees will be deployed out into the city prior to the storm, handing out these supplies as needed. Next. Before and during a hurricane watch warning, make sure you have a full tank of gas. Go to your local gas station, fill up all your vehicles. Make sure your windows are secured. Board up with plywood or shutters if you have them. Make sure you have the keys available so that when the storm is over, you can go out and open your shutters and bring light into your home. Stay away from standing water and down power lines. Be aware that after the storm, if you see a down power line, get on the phone and call 911 and ensure that you report these down power lines, because that becomes very important and it's a danger if you're outside in the community and you have standing water, you can be electrocuted. Next. Multiple shelters in and around Miami-Dade County. There's a list here that is all within Miami-Dade County, not just Opa-locka. If the shelters in our current local area are full, you have various others that you can reach out to and be aware that they will accept you in those areas. Miami Lakes Education Center, Miami Norland, North Miami Beach Senior High, et cetera, et cetera. Next. After the storm, monitor your local radios, local news outlets and radio outlets. Render assistance if needed. Report emergency situations that we talked about, downed electrical cables, leaking gas. Law enforcement will be out. We'll be out in the city in force. We'll be working Alpha Bravo shifts 24 hours a day, around the clock as we normally do. But we'll be definitely out with our city and public works, assisting our residents in the community along with whatever needs that you have that you may have at the time. Next. And that's it. Thank you. Any questions?
All right, any questions for Chief Otley on this?
Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly?
you mentioned about being ready, and probably maybe a public works question, because I notice when I ride around, I still see it even now, dealing with cleaning the drains and making sure that the water can flow, since we are a couple of weeks away. What's going on with that process? I know I've been asked about before. Where are we at on that? Have all the drains been drained now properly, or however, in preparation for hurricane season?
I would have to defer that question to Public Works Commissioner.
Okay, well, that's critically important as well. Mr. Austin's coming behind you. The other one is, how many pumps do we have for hurricane preparedness? I know we normally have some pumps for situations that arise, and we have generators in case we have to utilize without power. And also for the chief, the last question, assuming that we're going to be in our new facility downstairs pretty soon, will that be a command post for hurricane season? It's supposed to be command hurricane ready,
That's a great
right?
question, Commissioner. Yes, we will be in our new station, and the conference room will be our emergency operations center. We'll be fully manned 24 hours a day. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. And will there be a special number for folks to reach out or to reach, to come straight here as opposed to going through the county
That's correct.
regarding hurricane preparedness? hurricane questions or concerns?
Yes, sir. We'll have that number established and that'll be put out. Yes, sir.
Okay, well, that needs to go out next week, because you're
Yes,
right
sir.
on hurricane season. Hope we don't need it, but it needs to go out. Thank you.
And to add to Commissioner's first question, he talked about the cleaning of the drains. Also want to add to the pruning of trees. Because that's also an issue here in Opa-locka.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Area Austin Public Works Director, pertinent to cleaning of the drains. That's being done on a daily basis. We still have several drains to go. We have enlisted the services of a subcontractor who is assisting with that project. As it relates to pumps, we have several pumps for storm events as well as sanitary sewer events. We have adequate number of pumps to deal with those situations right now.
Okay, and since you have an outside, Mr. Mayor, since you have an outside vendor, you said that assisting with the drains.
With the cleaning of the
Okay,
drains,
so
yes.
we have someone making sure that they're doing, because you said it's been going on, it's ongoing.
Yes.
And you only have several, you got a few more. I've been riding around, I've seen quite a few that haven't even gotten to, so I don't know if they're doing it by zone or area, but
We
when
do-
it's
We're
anticipated.
doing
they
it
all
in
be done.
accordance to our sweeper zones,
To who?
sweeping schedule.
The street sweeper?
Yes,
The one that people can't get the thing sweep because the car's in the way? You remember that street sweeper?
yes, sir.
Okay, well, I'll, hopefully they will address that. And also the process for securing, I know you say vendors for things, but for ice and whatever, the process for actually getting that to folks, is that will that be laid out somewhere? Because I see it in the notes about handing out supplies. There's always a concern of how that actually takes place.
Most of the time, that's the service that's provided by the police department. I'll yield to the chief on that.
Everybody yielding to something? Okay. Just get it to us so we'll know, because when folks are asking us, we're trying to figure it out. I know a lot of us wind up in our cars and whatever, just trying to give out. And since Vice Mayor got a golf cart, I know hers will be out there with them high wheels. So just need to know that. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and as we're moving on to the next item, which is our citizens forum. Madam Clerk, can you please state how to participate in citizens forum?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening. City of Opa-locka Commission meetings are held in person at the Opa-locka Government Center, City Commission Chambers, 780 Fisherman Street, 3rd floor, Opa-locka, Florida. Members of the public wishing to address the commission may do so in person or virtually. Those persons wishing to participate virtually should register prior to the scheduled meeting time on the city's website at www.opalockafl.gov. When speaking before the commission, please make sure to give your full name and address for the record. There is a 3-minute time limit for public comments. Please adhere to the decorum policy, which is part of the commission meeting agenda. City commission meetings are aired through live stream at www.youtube.com/user/city of Opa-locka. And Mr. Mayor, at this time, I believe, and IT can confirm, we have a virtual public comment.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, my name is Charlotte Wright, Manifest Church, 680 West Superior Street.
Okay.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, resident, and guest. I am here to talk about the property at 680 West Superior Street, known as Manifest Church. Recently, we have been experiencing significant issues due to the road closures on our area. As it is stated, it is the Sesame Street culvert replacement, and also there's an FDOT notice that has a project as well. As a result of this extensive road closure, our property has experienced an enormous major issue with illegal dumping. Unauthorized individuals have been dumping waste, creating hazard and diminishing the aesthetics appeal of our area. And we truly believe it's because the road has been closed for so long. They think that it's just truly an area to dump. Although we did take the initiative and we have no dumping signs, and they're dumping right in front of the no dumping signs. So I would like to share that we truly are here in the area to improve the area, as our property is on the corner of Sesame Street. As a result of that, we've improved the parking lot. We've done repaving, relined our parking lot. We've had the building repainted, and it is clearly noted that it is a church. And we have a vigorous and rigorous maintenance to our lawn to keep our property clean and the like. And so I'm here tonight to truly just ask that we partner with the city. We've asked for police to come by and be in that area to do their reports in our parking lot so that they can see the illegal activity that's happening. We've actually caught sexual activity happening in the cut, if you will, as well as drug transactions happening. And so we've noted that, but of course, we're not police, and we know that police have so much to do that we truly just really, really need to partner with you all as it relates to that area being closed off. And we believe that is the major reason for all of this activity. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. White. And can you we need to get to her.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor?
Ms. White, if you don't mind reaching out to City Hall tomorrow so that we can get your phone number. And we can,
I have her
you
information.
have it?
Yes.
All right, thank you. And we'll have the manager's office and myself to reach out to you. All right, citizens forum.
Thank you.
No
Mr.
problem.
Mayor, we have another virtual public comment.
Okay.
Emerson Harris.
All right, you have the floor.
Mr. Harris?
Mr. Harris, you have the floor. Okay, we'll come back to our virtual comments. We're gonna open up the floor to those of you that are in the chamber. Citizens forum is open.
Don't worry, I get it. Okay, I'm Michael Jones, 2110 Wilmington Street. Me and my wife. Look at here. We cleaning up Cuyahoga. Okay, now we finna clean up round Cuyahoga. Let me show you what I got.
We have photos of illegal dumping. And we've written here where they're located. We also have a photo of an illegal dumper. This guy. We have a photo there. We put a picture of him in his car down here around the end of Wilmington Street near Cuyahoga. Where's he at? Yeah. That's the actual person. And they don't have with the back of his thing, his car, where he was doing his illegal dumping. Also, right around that same area, there's the unsecured dogs that comes out from under the fence. Yeah, and there's a guy, we have him sitting on the foot. We have three neighbors here on this one particular street. Can't come out to put their garbage out beside the road because of these two dogs. They're getting out from the fence. Code enforcement needs to crack down. They came out to my house. They came out to me. I walked 3-4 miles all the way from Wilmington Street
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
fish market, all the way to Nathan Young. And this is what we see. This is what I see when I walk with the kids to school. This is what I see.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, is it possible we can see that after, but if you all can go to the mic and speak, I want to make sure the residents hear you all. That's, okay.
Tell them that name.
Okay.
Smith, we get staff.
Yeah, I was just about to say,
Yeah.
And that way we can get it,
They're gonna take a
staff
picture of
take a
the-
picture so we can all get
of
it.
the presentation.
Yeah,
Scan this?
Yes, ma'am. They'll come get it now.
no, they'll do it.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Thank you. Well, y'all know where we're staying at.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Hello, Mr. Mayor, and also commissioners. My name is Don Wiggins. My address is 11446 Coral Springs here in South Florida. I'm here to talk about the marketing and advertising opportunity to represent the city of Opa-locka. We had the opportunity to do some marketing and advertising for the city of Opa-locka last year. We are the firm that put together the calendars for the sheriff department and for the police department, those wonderful calendars that were put together last year. We also did some videos for some of the commissioners that are sitting here today. And City Manager Darwin Williams has those. I'm here to say that Opa-locka is a unique city, and we are very much aware of the city of Opa-locka, and we want to tell the story. We know that hurricane awareness, as the chief talked about, is very important. We want to highlight, we just missed the 98th birthday. Opa-locka celebrated its 98th birthday. Great opportunity. Well, with the hiring of our firm, we'll party like it's 1999 next year. We won't miss it next year. We're going to talk about the great things that's happening in this city. I've lived here for 15 years, and I've heard so many negative things about Opa-locka, and I'm sick and tired of it. I'm in the media. I know the media. They know me. I'm from the great city of Flint, Michigan. I know what it's like to handle cities that need help, because we handled the water crises. Also, we handled the situation with the great supervisor of election, Miss Brenda Snipes, when she was attacked, and we got that taken care of. We handled her campaign. We also see situations where we'll be able to manage crises management for the city of Opa-locka. You have a firm that can speak positively to the media on your behalf and do radio, television, social media, all forms of marketing. We need to tell the story. And if you don't tell your story, people will tell your story for you. We are very good at spotlighting cities. We handle the city of Lauderhill, CRA, the Lauderhill Live events, in which we just had a sellout event with the last event was there, sold out to capacity. We handle the Black Promoters Collective, which was the firm that was elected to handle jazz in the gardens, after Live Nation and AEG handled it for the past 15 years.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Citizens Forum is still open?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor,
Good evening.
Commission. I am going to be speaking on consent agenda number 1. My name is Scott Martin, 4311 Buchanan Street, Hollywood, Florida. Now, we have been working, my company, 2020 Media, has been working very closely with the city of Opa-locka regarding the street furniture, whether it be bus benches and bus shelters. We've, I would say, gone back and forth with city staff, who has been unbelievably helpful to exchange and replace what's going on in the city right now. Now, I'm from North Miami. This is where I was raised. Okay. I played baseball at Pepper Park. I know it's North Miami, but that's where I grew up. Now, we wanted to, and we've expressed our desire to change every single bus bench and bus shelter in this city. And up until a day and a half ago, we thought we were number 13 on the agenda for approval. Now, what we have proposed is to replace every single bus bench, every single bus shelter, and provide the city with an aesthetically pleasing bus bench. Not only that, we're putting out garbage cans that we maintain. As long, at the same time, we're paying the city a revenue share. And So again, up until a day and a half ago, we thought we were my partner just came in, Joel, just came in from Tallahassee because we thought we were going to get approved for a contract to replace every single bus bench, every single bus shelter in the city of Opa-locka and make it look better the way it should be. Now, I've been a part of Opa-locka. I go way back, and I don't know if anybody remembers Starrick Smith, but I go way back with the city of Opa-locka. And we're hoping that you reconsider pulling it off the consent agenda. Now, we've already negotiated the contract, like I said, with the city of Opa-locka. We approved it. And
Thank you. I do have one quick question.
sure,
And it's unprecedented. Who did you negotiate the contract with?
Mr. Arya,
Okay. Thank
Mr.
you.
Austin,
All right. Thank you.
and I don't, Joel.
Good evening. I'm available to answer any other additional questions if anyone has any.
No, not at this moment.
All right.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, County Commissioner. My name is Chaplain Stanley Young. I have been a chaplain in the prisons and jails in North Carolina, South Carolina. Now I'm here in Florida, trying to reach inmates, the men and women who want to get their life turned around. I've been spending many years interfacing with these men and women to give them that second chance that we all need. I'm now here in Florida, assistant here. I have been working with the Miami-Dade Department of Correction. I have sat with the director to discuss how we can properly get these men and women that are in our county into a position where they can pull themselves up and get themselves back in society right. I want to put this in your heart and your mind because a lot of people don't know about inmates when they get out. A lot of them can't get jobs. A lot of them can't get places to stay because they got a rap sheet and have no money. So what do? They go right back to crime. That's why I want to come in, and I have been engaged in this for a couple of years now. This is my first time actually addressing this wonderful council here in Opa-locka to really address this issue and put this issue before your city council to really consider something to bring these inmates back into your city right. That's one of my passions. I want to establish a home where they could come, don't have to worry about food, don't have to worry about clothing, don't have to worry about nothing. They can come there to get themselves whatever they need to get themselves back into the communities the right way. I'm accessible right now. My doors are open for all of you to come to talk. Also, my second passion is the homelessness that is going on in our city, in our county. Let's just go with the county. We are the third largest in the United States. Florida, the state of Florida is the third largest state in the United States with homelessness. It is a situation that we all have to address together. I see three parts that will really make that impact. That's the government, that's the clergy, and that is the community that most surround this homelessness and those that are coming back into our community.
Thank you, Mr.
Right. I thank you for your time. I hope to work with you sometime to address these issues. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. And staff will get your number before you leave. How are you, sir?
Hey, how you doing? Good evening. Arpa Lawson. Everybody doing
How you
mayor
doing?
council meeting. My first time doing this, but Excited due to the fact that I'm a returning citizen.
Okay.
But being a returning citizen.
Before you go any further, let's state your name and
Arpa Lawson,
and address for the record.
13059 Southwest 26th Street, Miramar, Florida 33027.
Got it.
First and foremost, I'm a person that's transparent as possible, and I'm a person that's from this from this neighborhood. I grew up here. I played for Bunch Park. I actually just had an event over at Pace Senior High School for the community, along with athletes and high school players. So what I want to propose is we create a media outlet, Opa-locka TV to be exact, to bring more exposure to the city of Opa-locka in a positive light. Because as we know, over time, the last time you look up, it was nothing but bad publicity, from back in the days. And when I grew up on Shabani Park, and I remember just seeing all the functions that Opa-locka used to have. And for me, it's like I want to bring that back. I want to be able to partner up with the community that I grew in and change the narrative. I want to be able to see you all, know you all, and know these kids. So I created my foundation, FANI is Family and Neighbors Improvement Talent. So I agree with the young gentleman that just came before me about returning citizens, but I disagree with thinking that they can't change, because I'm a product of change. So with that being said, I want to show and prove that the young kids from the Back Blues and around the area can be a positive outlet, shown greatly to people if the gap is bridged. I want to be able to bring notoriety to space. I want to be able to create hubs for these kids to use their functionalities. I have over 100 kids now. Before me, there was just me on the sidelines, but after me, I have over 100 young men and women that do videography and photography for the community. But when I come to a game in Opa-locka, there's nobody there. So I want to be able to bring the more exposure and uplift the community. That's what I really want to do.
All right. Thank you, sir. And again, if you see the young man right here on the side, give him your number, and then one of us will reach out to you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Theophilus Williams, 1391 Northwest 91st Street. Let me clear the records on something when I was coming up in here. First of all, Miami Northwestern track field, if you want to talk about it, you need to go see the superintendent. Vice President Williams don't have nothing to do with it. We got something to do with it. We downtown. We downtown talking about it. And our inner city schools are bad. Often the time we elect a lot of people to come and do the work for the people, but the people is not here. Everything they wants to be around us, it's not on the agenda for us to vote for it, but everybody asks for our votes. I rode over here to Ingram Park, seeing football fields. I'm hoping y'all don't put no apartments over there. No soccer field like Dade County want to do. I'm hoping they put a family picnic over there where we can have some for our Black history. I'm hearing all the money running around here, put it over in Ingram Park. We got too many people coming in our country telling us and meeting with y'all what they want, but y'all should have come to us as taxpayers and put it on the agenda and let the people talk. It's sad. We're in a house crisis right now. They getting paid. And the more y'all let them build, the more the tax go up. We need to start talking about bringing tax down for senior citizens and the people living in this community. We're not talking about that. See, everybody worrying about $1. It's a sign in the front, but in the back it say, God we trust. Now, who can we trust? Who can we trust? We got to trust y'all. See, people comes into y'all office and talk another game, but the people, it's the people agenda. It's the community agenda. And if you don't have a relationship with the community, that means they don't trust you. Too many enemies coming in here trying to build over us. Nobody don't need no more warehouses. We don't need none of that no more. We need better service for our community and senior citizens. Let's look out for our senior citizens and let them development coming from, they all over here now. We need to stop dealing with them. Deal with the people who help. Our black community is gone.
1 second, y'all. Go ahead, Mr. Williams.
Our community is gone. Our history getting ready to go. And everybody around here, I don't see this community go up and down. They just proved for a soccer event to come in Dade County. But don't get the vote from the people. We tired of it.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Mr. Mayor,
How are
my
you?
name is James Jacobs. I'm at 2161 Rutland Street. I want to ask you, well, I'm not going to ask you a question, but Commissioner Kelly brought up a point, key point that I heard earlier about the drains. And another thing Commissioner Kelly says, which he actually does, because twice a week he rides the community and he comes down my street at least twice a week. And the drain at Rutland and 22nd, which he brought up about, he's seeing the drains are not completely clean, and the chief was talking about the storms. That drain got almost like flowers growing out of it, weeds and stuff coming out of it. Now, I have brought this up attention to Public Works and Code Enforcement, which have sent pictures to Public Works because they stood right there and, sent the information in. And this has been a while. But the drain haven't been cleaned, and we got a brand new, beautiful truck. I know we got a brand new, beautiful truck because I seen it. But it don't stop at that drain because I was told at the corner of Rutland and 22nd, it's a Dade County problem, not a city or Opa-locka problem. But I have to come off 22nd to get into that Rutland Street. Kind of got me confused, because I was told that it was not a Opa-locka problem. So I addressed you about that problem. And like Commissioner Bass said, we all supposed to be one side, not no east-west side. I don't see that truck on the east side though, but I see that truck on the west side. That's how come I know we got a new truck. You dig what I mean? I like to see the truck on the east side. That community, as Commissioner Bass say, one, not split. And the hurricane season is coming. And a couple of times I have cleaned it out myself. But they need a real good cleaning, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it if you can look into it, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Jacobs.
Thank you.
And Madam Manager, can we get?
Yes, I have his contact information.
Got it.
Good evening again to you all. I come to address an issue concerning hurricane preparedness.
Doctor, can you give us state your name and address for the record?
Dr. Retevia Walden, 1860 Service Road, Opa-locka, Florida.
Yeah.
And I hear you because we do have good people that come out of Opa-locka, millionaires. I have one of my kids. With that, I just want to address something really quick. Being hurricane prepared. The home next door to me was red tagged about 30 days ago. When I was here before, Mayor Taylor, you instructed the manager to keep me updated on what was going on in the process of all of that, the red tagging. I did get the process on paper with the red tagging. 30 days passed on yesterday, including the weekends. I would like to know what is going to go on because they have built on and on and on structures on that home. They have tenants in there that shouldn't be in there. They violated code enforcement over and over again. They threatened, they disrespected code enforcement, our police force, the building and license manager, zoning, and they've already said they're not doing nothing about it. We've been in hearings about those structures over and over again. They just moved new tenants over there. They threw tenants out because the roof was leaking in the back. Housing came there the other day, the Housing Authority was sent over there to be proof that building and licensing was on their A game. The man got up on his roof on a ladder, took pictures of the Housing Authority with me in the pictures, violating my privacy. I've called the police several times. The chief, no, I thank God for the chief. Mrs. Wilcox back there, Miss Marilyn, everybody's trying to be on their job. Hurricane preparedness, if something go on when that hurricane come, and by this court, months ago, it was said that the building administrator could have them remove certain structures that's attached to my property concerning encroachment over and over again. Nothing have been done. To me, everybody's in contempt because nobody's following the rules of the court. With that, if a hurricane comes and that roof come off of that building, or something goes on with those gates that's attached to my home and hurt me, hurt my family member,
Yes, ma'am.
all of my property have been damaged, somebody's going to be held accountable. I would like to know, moving forward,
Yes, ma'am.
after the 30 days with that red tagging, what's next? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Walden, and we'll get staff to connect with you. Citizens Forum is still open.
Audrey Dominguez, 1147 Jan Avenue. I wanted to ask, I know that it was brought up, or I brought it up to Commissioner Kelly regarding a four-way signage in Jan Avenue and Ahmad Street. We just had a huge accident with a truck and a car. I mean, it was horrible. Both cars were total loss. And as a matter of fact, one of my neighbor's fence was totally taken down. So if we can get maybe, I don't know, we need to do something because until maybe somebody dies is maybe when they'll move fast enough. But it was horrible. I mean, all my neighbors came out because of how hard it hit, the impact. I know one of them had to have been speeding and the other one took the stop sign, but if there were 4 stop signs, I know for a fact that accident could have been prevented, or at least slowed down. On another note, there's been a lot of bills that have been passed through the Senate, and one of the bills is SB 290, which I would encourage you guys to read it. It's in regards to public records requests. I'm bringing this about because of myself that I've requested public records, and I'm talking about currently, not last year. I'm talking about currently. So I just want to read a portion where it says civil action. If a civil action is filed against a contractor or service provider to compel production of public records relating to public agency contract for services, the court shall assess and award against a contractor or service provider reasonable costs of enforcement, including reasonable attorney fees. So I just want someone to please find out what's going on, who's holding these public records, because mine's are very simple. I'm not asking for nothing out of this world. Very simple public records that I asked I think in January, and I asked one, I think in April too. So if someone would give me information as to why they're not being given out. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And Madam Clerk, are we?
Ma'am,
Your
Mr.
office can-
Mayor.
Your office can
Yes.
okay.
I'll reach out to, and I actually did receive her public records shortly before 5 today from the manager's office. So I will make sure that she received those in the morning.
Thank you. Hello, how are you?
Hi, good evening. Jeanette Matos, 2240 Service Road. I just want to piggyback on what my neighbor on Service Road stated. Can we please put pressure on the city with the drainage? Because as he stated, yes, there are build up trees, whatever, I don't know, backed up. And so when it rains and stuff like that, for example, I just had the plumber come out to my house about 3 weeks ago, and he put the snake 250 feet. And so I'm assuming that's the part where the city comes in, because when he pulled the snake back out, all it was trees and ferns or whatever, is back there. So yes, I will do my part, like to get my area, drained and stuff like that cleaned, but 250 feet, I'm sure that's the city's problem. So, being that we are in hurricane season and we're going to get rain and storm and stuff like that, if y'all can apply pressure on the county to clean that.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Moto.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Carla Hibbert Latimer. My address is 20584 Northwest 14th Place, Miami Gardens, 33169. I'm here tonight because I'm a community organizer, activist, and researcher. And just from listening to the community members, I want to suggest that the commission consider doing a community needs assessment. And with that, we could inform some of the things that the community wants, including a community benefits plan for developers who are coming into the area. I would love to give my services and assist in developing that or coaching the staff here through that process if that's something that is of interest to the commission. And I would also like to consider working on an advocacy basis to organize in the Back Blues and other communities that need more advocacy and resources as well. Also, I am a human rights as well as human trafficking expert in the area. I've noticed that City of Opa-locka has a lot of human trafficking issues. I want to be able to render services to you from various coalitions and resources that I have to be able to assist with missing child cases, as well as any issues that we're having locally with human trafficking in our youth specifically. So that's what I would love to offer the commission and for any other further services that I can render to you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Carla. And the young man over there will get your number before you leave. Citizens Forum is still open. Okay, citizens, before we close, Madam Clerk, we have somebody that was online. Are they still there? Because we're about to close Citizens Forum.
I would have to confirm with our IT department to see if Mr. Harris is online. No, Mr. Mayor,
Okay.
he's not.
Citizens Forum is closed. All right. So we're gonna move right along to our action items. Our consent agenda, which is item 12.2.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, directing the city manager to conduct an internal feasibility study to establish a food pantry at Ingram Park within the city, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by Commissioner Kelly.
Can I get a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Kelly, second by Commissioner Baz. Commissioner Kelly, this is your item. You can go ahead and present.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a item directing the city manager to do a feasibility study on putting a food pantry on Ingram Park in the room areas. If you've been around or been around the city, and at the time, the food program used to actually be at Ingram Park. And what this will allow is for the manager to do a study to see if it's feasible, because we know that we're looking with a lot of challenges. Food insecurity is still a challenge. And I think that we need to at least explore the possibility of having a place that we can have residents in times of need, fire, hurricane, whatever may be happening, that we would have a place in the city that they could go. And so the resolution really just asks the manager to look in whether it's feasible or doable or not, and bring it back to the commission for the commission to make a decision. It also would coincide with the commission request when we did the approval of the Feeding South Florida item to gather data to see how many residents are using, not using, but are receiving food from the program that we're funding now, which will obviously end in the fiscal year. So hopefully the feasibility study will come back so the commission can make a decision one way or the other on continuing that program and or establishing our own food pantry in the city, because that would allow us to not only get the food that we get now at least twice a month would allow us to have a location and a place to store items that we may have left. And sometimes we do have canned goods left and things of that nature. It would allow us to reach out to other business, receive meats and things. We put those in the freezer. But this item really just authorizes the manager to do a feasibility study to see if it's feasible and what it would cost, bring that back to the commission for a decision. That is the purpose of the item. Thank you. Mr. Mayor.
Okay, and this item, I yield to Commissioner Williams because you pulled it. Commissioner
Good.
Williams?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Just real quick, for the item to the sponsor, I know the neighboring city, we have a neighboring city that also has a food pantry, which is North Miami Beach. And I pulled it only because my question was, if you go on North Miami Beach's website for their food pantry, and I'm looking at it right now as we speak, it is through their social services department. And so I was wondering if, I know the feasibility study, it appears as if the item is saying that it would be a ran by the city, but would that be something that you would, or we all would think that would be connected through the social services department that we pass, that they would run that pantry so that it's connected to the services of the city, of our residents, as opposed to city employees running it? And that was my question.
Mr. Mayor?
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes, thank you for the question. Yes, North Miami Beach does have a pantry. There's some other cities. The feasibility study just allows the manager to look at all of the best practices maybe out there and come back to the commission with their recommendation on how to approach it. I believe it possibly could be under the social service umbrella, but I will leave that determination to management when they do the study and when they look at the possibility of how to lay it out. My only concern and what I really want to do is look at the possibility of having a place where when something happens, when there are emergencies, when there's a fire, when there's a hurricane, there's something that comes up, we have a place that residents can go based on however it's structured and the commission passes, that residents can go and get help. It also allows us people that maybe want to donate things. And like I said, if the commission decides to continue with our current program, for example, there are occasions, haven't any too lately, but where we've had with Farm Chef, for example, sometimes chicken left, but because we don't have any place to store it, they have to take it back. Now, thankfully, it hasn't been happening in the last 2 months. We've been, running out of everything, which is a good thing. But if we were to have a place, we could actually sign and keep that for someone in the community. It would also allow us to vary our days and or time, because one of the things I hear from the community as well is they can't pick up food at 10 o'clock in the morning. They're at work, 11 o'clock in the morning. So that would allow us the flexibility to do something in the evening, because although folks may work, they still could use assistance. But again, that would be under the purview of when the manager brings it back, how they would feel that it should be structured, and or if it should be under the umbrella of the social service component, which I don't have a problem with, but I'll defer that to when it comes back. This just asks the manager to look into all of the best practice, including the one that you're mentioning. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Any other questions to the sponsor on this item? All right, hearing none, we can go ahead and call the question, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Bass?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Williams?
Yes.
Mayor Taylor?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, next item on the consent is item 13-2.
We just did two, Mr.
I mean,
Mayor.
I'm sorry, 13-3, 13-3.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Hip Rockstar LLC for public relations and marketing consultant services in an amount not to exceed $84,000 annually as set forth in Exhibit A, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by the city manager.
All right, can I get a motion for this item?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Bass. Madam Manager.
Good afternoon. An RFP was issued for marketing and public relations services to replace the city's previous company. We did receive a strong response with receiving 9 proposals back. At this time, management has made a recommendation to select Hip Rockstar as the company to serve the city for these services, and I would ask Mr. Robert Anathan to be available should the commission have any questions.
All right, this item was pulled by Commissioner Kelly. I yield to you, Commissioner Kelly.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I did have some questions that the manager's office did respond to that I got a little earlier today. Hadn't had a chance to go over it. But my concern really is the structure and the process, because usually on items of this magnitude, 3 firms, 3 vendors, 3 whatever, come back to the commission to make a decision. But on this one, I noticed that the recommendation came with just 1. And that was concerning to me as well. Why it only came back with 1 vendor? Should have been, in my opinion, the top 3, and then the commission could make a final decision. I was told that, it's under the manager's authority to do recommend 1, and the commission can, choose it or not. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that interpretation, but that's what I was given. Having said that, I also had some challenges with the evaluation process that took place and some of the scoring of how it came out. And that was another concern that I have. And I also wanted to say to my colleagues in this, I made this statement not only with this one, but with other things where we have an evaluation committee process put together. But in my opinion, the folks sometimes who need to be a part of these evaluations are not part. I was very disappointed not to see the clerk's office actually involved, considering how much they're involved with the events and outreach that we do with flyers, et cetera. I also felt that maybe Parks and Rec should have been involved, even though I know Ms. Lawson sits over the department. But it goes to, when I see folks on the committee that's not hands-on with what's going to take place, evaluating, that's always a concern that I have. And I've raised that several times, even when you talk about things in public works. The folks in the trenches need to be a part of the evaluation, not just folks that sit in the office, because they're the ones that got to deal with it. And we've seen time and time again where a selection is made and then we find out later we probably should have went a different way because we didn't have the folks that's out there doing the actual on-field work and in the trenches a part of that early process. So I did get these answers. I'm still not totally convinced that it should have been 1, but it's before the commission. I want to raise those concerns and just put on the record the fact how it took place, because when I looked at the breakdown, even of how some of the proposals were given based on hours a month, it wasn't very clear to me. And it was explained to my briefing how they looked at it, but it was still challenging. I just want to put on the record, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. Any other concerns to the sponsor on this item? All right, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Urban,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, we're moving on to our new items, which is our add-on items 14.1.
14.1, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, directing the city manager to allocate $50,000 for implementation of a summer youth jobs program and enter into an agreement with the South Florida Workforce Investment Board pursuant to the terms and conditions set forth in Exhibit A, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by Mayor Taylor.
All right, can I get a motion? Moved by Vice Mayor, second by Commissioner Bass. I'll go ahead and present. This item comes before us every year. I just wanted to ensure that it was timely because it seems like every year we're behind the 8 ball when it comes down to employing our children for the summer. So I just wanted to make sure that our children was employed timely, that they can get the full experience of the program. And I'll entertain any questions if there are any.
How many, Mr. Mayor?
Say it again,
Mr. Mayor?
Commissioner Kelly?
How many youth are we hoping to do? Are we just we're just running it through the South Florida Workforce Investment Board?
Yes, sir. They're gonna shepherd the program.
The whole program?
The whole program.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? All right, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, we're moving on. Okay, ordinance full. We're going into our city manager's report. Madam Manager?
Yes. I just wanted to inform the commission that I don't have a report, but I will share any concerns that you may have with the city manager and also the concerns that were raised by the citizens. I've taken notes of those and we'll be sure to get those concerns addressed.
Okay, and the only thing I ask on the concerns, can you provide the commission with a report and how you cured those issues?
Will do. Will do.
Mr. Mayor.
Any questions? Commissioner Williams?
Yes, thank you. If you can, to the manager's office, I do want to say there were a few things that were a little glaring throughout, the presentations, tonight. Number one, and I think I've said this a few times before, is ensuring that as a city, we constantly and consistently consult with our city attorney. And I'm seeing that we're still deficient in that area. We can't. I'm sorry. So we can't have things that are brought to us, that are said to us, reports, presentations, that our city attorney, quite frankly, whether the city is, it's not a personal or a like or dislike. The fact is she protects us, she protects the city and she protects the board. And I'm saying she, but our attorney. And it doesn't matter if it's whoever our city attorney is. So it does concern me that there are multiple things that come around that we're like, it's glaring and it's becoming very glaring to me. And this is to me, in my opinion. So there are a lot of things at this point that we need to fix. We need to put personal feelings aside and ensure that our city attorney is consulted. And in addition, when I've seen a lot of emails, I found my city phone, but anyway, I've seen a lot of emails where questions are being asked and it's taking days and weeks and sometimes 30 days for things to be said, to answer back to legal. We can't do that. Like when we're talking about court system, it has to be timely. So we got to fix that. And then another thing I'm concerned about, and it was also glaring to me, is things that are not coming to commission. There are 2 items on the agenda that said ratification. We didn't mention it, but it was said that, and we really should start taking a look at our agenda items. Every agenda, there's a ratification item. You gotta start, take a look at that. And so, I'm not trying to be here to school the commission, but this is the part where we talk to each other. And so, when items are being ratified, those items have been moved. The work has been done, contracts have been signed, and now it's, oops, it didn't come to the commission. So now we have to bring it to the commission. There is a ratification item on every single agenda. That's a problem. And I wanted to, I'm just saying, I've been saying it, I'm trying to, but we got to fix that. There's some systemic things that, we have, a new manager, but we have to first figure out how do we fix the old and not bring what was systemic into the new, the city of bright opportunities. So please, we gotta work on that. And so this is the calm Veronica, Commissioner Williams, but we gotta, I don't want to, like, I feel like I should not have to keep saying that. So it's through the manager's office if we can fix that. And then my question is, we talked about cameras and illegal dumping, but I don't, we passed these items. They don't come back. We don't hear about them. No one does any presentations. What's going on with the cameras? We're hearing it is an illegal dumping party going on in our city.
Yes, staff has seen an increase with illegal dumping. Last week, 15 new cameras were installed. We can prepare a presentation and bring it back to the commission so you all are aware of
That
it.
would be perfect.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And lastly, and I hope this doesn't, you don't think that I'm beating up on the manager's office, sorry. Lastly, there's been an uptick in robberies. There's been an uptick in people breaking in homes and people breaking in cars. And so I don't know what we need to do because things happen on Commissioner's Bass Street. So it doesn't matter, you know, whose street it is. We've got two sitting commissioners up here that have been affected. We have to figure out how to work through what's happening with the increase in just the illegal activity that's happening. My assessment is this is connected to all the new people that are living. We had a resident, the doctor talked about next door that are not supposed to be living, i.e. trailers, that we don't know who they are, where they're coming from. They're not residents. You know, it's not a political thing, but there's a huge uptick in illegal immigrants. And what we don't know. We don't know if they have a background or a criminal record or anything. And this is just all over, Florida. So we need to really hone in, and this is, I guess, for the police department, making sure that we're protecting our streets to ensure that an entire street doesn't have cars being broken into in the middle of the night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other?
Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
one of our residents mentioned about the dogs, and just yesterday I was over on the east side with my 6 new best friends that are ages 5 to 12. And they wanted to make sure that they took me by the house where the dogs chase them literally about every other day, they said. So and they showed me the dogs, and I've seen them before when I was over there. They're quite vicious, and they're white dogs. I won't mention their breed, but they also shared with me that their parents had called animal control, and basically they were not successful. So we definitely need to do something about those 2 dogs. I only saw one yesterday, but in previous times I've seen both of them.
Really, 3.
Thank you, sir.
So I gave the chief a look, and tomorrow we'll work together to try to get Miami-Dade County back out there. But at times, we know that hopefully the dogs are roaming, so we can try to get those dogs off the street.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Any other concerns to the manager's office?
Mr. Mayor?
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes, thank you. I have about 16 items through Meet Me Monday, so I know they're being worked on, so I won't bring those up. But I do want to follow up because one of the reasons why I was pulling number 5 was because that ratification, and I've mentioned it too many times myself, that we're getting items that are ratified, which means they've been paid and we really have no choice but to pay them. And so I am very concerned to see that happening. And I'm also concerned, as my colleague mentioned, about the emails that go back and forth with the city attorney and the manager's office regarding various items, some of which obviously have time frames and time sensitive things with it. And so I'm going to talk to the commission because as my colleague said, we can only talk up here. There is a problem. We can ignore it if we want to, but there is a major problem and disconnect with communication and getting things done. And we cannot afford to keep sitting here like we don't know it exists, because it does. Both of those entities work for the city commission. They don't work for anybody else but the city commission. So, Mr. Mayor, I know you're the chair, so I'll kind of maybe defer to how you want to do it. But I'm at the point now, I'm tired of seeing those emails. Because then later on, we have folks coming before us saying things that, we think about it, it was somewhere in that email. And we can use a whole lot of different examples. We go back and look at them. And I know fluff emails when I see them versus substance. And sometimes some of them are fluff. So that's a real issue that needs to be dealt with from the commission, because both of those folks work for the commission. And we need to address that once and for all. I do echo, and I'll wait for the manager's office on the follow-up from all of the concerns raised by the residents and citizens forum, including the dumping, the dogs. And as it was said, I ride around, so I'll be able to see, just like everyone else, if it gets taken care of. The other things that I wanted to ask about, the road dips from the paving. And I know that the county is really doing 22nd, 27th Avenue paving improvements. I know they started Miami Gardens, now they're going through Opa-locka going straight through. My concern is when you make turns off of the road, there's dips, major dips in the road, whether it's 22nd or 27th. And my concern or my question is, are they going to come back and smooth that at some point? Because they're all over. 151st going all the way down, whether it's 22nd, 27th. We want to see the road obviously improved, and they're doing it, but those dips, if you don't do something about them, they're just going to get deeper and deeper. So we need to, we can find out about that, and if not, who we need to speak to or whatever, because that's only going to get worse as you keep riding along those dips. The Ingram Park sprinkler system and the other roundabout areas in the city that have sprinkler systems, I notice, are not functioning or either not working. I know we're coming up on rainy season and hope that will help us out in terms with hurricane rain, as they say, but right now it's so dry. And I know some of these areas have sprinkler systems because they're in the ground. I've seen them in some of the roundabout areas, but they're not working and they're not on. So we need to deal with that as well. And the development that was passed a while back from the commission regarding the housing development on Alabama with the mechanical parking. They fenced the property off, they're going to do some moving, we approved it, but in writing the other day, I saw for sale sign on the property. So could you follow up and find out what happened with that? Because that was supposed to be some housing coming. We passed it. We was excited to see this mechanical parking, but now I see a for sale sign on the property. So if we could find out what occurred with that one and the property, for example, on 22nd by State Road 9, the old Thompson car wash, because that was supposed to be under contract for some development, retail, whatever. And now I don't see anything there either, except somebody set up selling flowers. I see on the side there, but there's no development taking place. So we could find out about that. I would appreciate it. And the last one, and I've been talking about this now since I got back, because it came up and meet me Monday. The PSA officer status. I know the commission passed for public service aides. I was told that we have them, they were getting uniformed, and that was so long ago. But I have not seen one in the community. I have not seen, matter of fact, it's supposed to be two. But I think we were told one was helping out with red light cameras, but I have yet to see a PSA officer riding around in the community. And one of the things they could be doing is some of the eyes and ears for the dumping, the dogs and things of that nature. Haven't seen it yet. And I know we budgeted for it. We budgeted for it. We passed it as a commission, and I haven't seen them. Do we have the PSA officers on staff?
Yes, we have one. We have two.
We have two? What was that?
Botley, can you? come up?
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
What happened now? What that miss?
He said, I'm doing- Mr. Jones said he doing it for free.
Well, you know what, Mr. Jones? You know what? Let me try to, I'm trying to be. Oh, I'm sorry, go. Oh, she was answering that?
Yes, we have
Okay.
two, and Chief will give you more information on what they are currently doing at this time.
So we don't, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, so we have two on staff. We have a hiring plan in place. Currently, interviews are ongoing. As soon as we get them on, we'll begin our training process with the other three. So we're budgeted for 5 positions. Our vehicles, the PSA vehicles will be in hopefully in the next batch within the next few months. So they can't patrol without their vehicles. Currently, the one is continuing with the red light camera processing, and the other, the secondary one, is assisting with our accreditation portion and preparing the move down to with our property and evidence downstairs. So that's a collateral duty that he's doing right now.
Okay, Chief, I appreciate your answer. Let me talk to the manager. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. It's supposed to be PSA officers in the community, not doing red light camera, not preparing for the move down to the first floor. They're supposed to be out in the community. And with all these cars we got around here, there should have been a car already outfitted. This is going on 2 years. 2 years. And not one PSA officer is on the streets outfitted to do what they're supposed to do. But they're getting paid. Can't be through the PSA money because they're not doing PSA work. So they're getting paid through the budget of the police department.
So the red light camera is part of the PSA responsibility, sir. That's part of the.
So the other one is getting paid through what?
Well, he's doing red light camera as well. Just another.
Okay, Chief. Okay, thank you. Madam Manager, I don't want to prolong the time, as they say in church. That's unacceptable. There should be PSA officers on the streets that this commission passed in the budget. Follow the process. There's no excuse not to have cars. They're doing red light, doing everything that was except what they're supposed to. PSA is designed to be in the community. Public service aids, to do those things, to be those eyes. The police can do other major things. You just heard uptick in crime, uptick in illegal dumping, uptick with dogs all over the place. Those are the things that PSA could be doing and should be doing. Not sitting in an office doing red light camera work. Not preparing for the move to the first floor. Now, I've been calm the last couple of meetings, but that's it for me. That's it. I want to know by the next meeting when those folks are going to be on the street, that this community could ride around and see them.
Yes, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, any other questions or concerns to the manager's office? All right, as we move on to our official board reports, do we have any official board reports at this moment? Seeing none. We're going into our future agenda items. Do we have any future agenda items?
Mr. Mayor?
Commissioner Williams?
Yes, a few times I brought this up about a modern Jan Avenue and had conversations, but I see we're gonna have to put it to legislation. I know Mr. Austin, I talked about this before. I would like to make a motion for a traffic study on a modern Jan Avenue. I can tell you that intersection, someone's going to get killed. Someone is going to get killed. It was horrible, horrific what I saw today on my way. And I know I spoke with the chief about it coming from work. And people are spending money to fix their house, to purchase new fences that are getting constantly broken. Cars are like leveling fences. I called the resident and said, and she was out of town. You know her, Lakeisha Williams. And I said, sweetie, your fence is gone. And so this it's crazy because it's my own mother 10, 15 years ago. I don't even know how long ago. Cadillac, because that's what she drives. Totaled after 1 month, totaled. It had to go to the hospital. Someone is going to get killed on that intersection. It needs to be a four-way stop. It has to be. And then another thing that's happening is all the cars that are in the front are blocking. People cannot see. You got an inch and inch and inch, and this is happening all over our city. You got an inch just to see if the car is coming because there's so many cars that are out. We got to do something. Something's got to be fixed there. So I'm off my soapbox, but you know, it sits different when your mama get hit, your neighbors get hit, and then you see complete destruction at this intersection. So traffic study on Maude and Jan Avenue. And I would like for us to discuss or figure out how we do this. We really need to increase one additional public works employee. I'm so sorry, code enforcement, that's what I meant. Code enforcement employee. And I would like to proffer that item for an increase in one additional. And I know that will go looking at budgets, and I'm sure Bob is not going to be happy about that. But we need and at least one additional public works employee. That's it. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Code enforcement.
All right,
Thank you.
so for the first item, Madam Commissioner, if you don't mind tweaking that just a little bit to do a citywide traffic study
No,
to prioritizing, you say you don't or what?
no.
No.
Just Ahmad and Jan Avenue.
Okay, well then I want you to add to that because I brought this up a couple last year and it hasn't happened yet. 143rd by my house in 17th.
Yep.
On that roundabout.
It just happened. I just saw it. Yep.
Someone always gets
Yep.
hit there, and I added to do a stop sign, a study on stop sign, so add that to that.
It did.
legislation.
It did.
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly.
is this the route we're gonna have to take to get stuff done?
Yeah.
I'm smiling.
Yes.
And I guess
Yes,
it is because
it
Commissioner
is.
Williams, what you're talking about, a traffic study for Ahmad and Jan, I asked for over a year ago. We should actually already have the traffic study done. And Mr. Austin is sitting there smiling because through the man, you know what, let's do this. Mr. Manager, can you have Mr. Austin come up? Because it's not a new item. Because of that very same thing about accidents that have been brought up about Ahmad and Jan. We're supposed to be having a traffic study done to see if we could even put four-way stop signs or what they recommend. And that's not new. I got, maybe Monday stuff going back over a year for that location. And one of the other things that I had asked about was the same thing the mayor is mentioning all over the city for those potential type of things. But since we're talking about Ahmad and Jan, and if we have to go that route, I definitely want to co-sponsor it. But where are we on that? Because that's not new.
Mr. Austin? I'm sorry,
Mr. Austin, could you let Ms. Gross start first and then you can chime in?
Good evening again, Mayor and Commissioner. We are actually doing a traffic study, a citywide study through the Safe Streets grants that we received, and it's being performed currently. We should have the results by September this year.
Okay, that's good. But what I'm talking about happened before we even started that grant process. Am I right?
Understood. Yes.
Way before. So that should have already been taking place. I appreciate the citywide, and that'll cover the mayor and probably some of us got other streets that we ride. But the one for Jan and Ahmad should have been done. So if you could allow Mr. Austin to get up there to weigh in why we hadn't gotten anywhere with that.
We did contact Miami-Dade County for traffic information and crash statistics on that street. The results we got were insufficient to conduct a study because they reported that they had little to no accidents reported for that area. And I did provide those statistics.
Who's providing to?
Yeah.
Because I asked for that several times to meet me Monday. And I've asked about it here because it's come up several times about Ahmad and Jan. And the only thing I was told was we were waiting on the study from Miami-Dade County.
We do have the traffic statistics on that intersection, sir.
And they're saying that there's not been enough activity.
Not enough activity to warrant additional traffic control devices.
Stop signs or devices, period.
Correct.
Which one?
any control device.
Okay,
which
so
includes stop.
if they said that to the manager, I was never made aware of that, number one. Number two, if they said it was not enough data, then to me, we should have increased the police presence around there because it is a high area that we know, based on our residents here and the elected official, of challenges with activities of cars and whatever. So we should have taken that initiative, even though we got the whole citywide coming. But I'd like to get a copy of that report and information because I've not seen that. Because you heard residents tonight, you heard my colleagues talk about accidents, but I've been talking about that for a long time and had not got that back in writing that the county basically said, no, we can't put any more whatever. And they said nothing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'd like to get that in writing, give it to all of us, matter
Mr.
of fact.
Austin, can you please share that with me so
Mr.
I can make
Austin?
sure the commission get it?
I'm sorry, before you leave, if this is happening and occurring in Opa-locka, wouldn't we have our own data within the police department? Why are we reaching out to?
Because we have to go through Miami-Dade County when it's a study like this, since they are the custodians for traffic control devices in Miami-Dade County.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is if we have our own 10-year data, as the kids say, there are receipts to show that, no, you're wrong. This is the number or the amount of traffic accidents that have happened there, then we can counter what Miami-Dade. But right now, we're not countering. It just sounds like to me, we're just putting our tail under our legs and we're walking away. We gotta go, there has to be. Every time there is an accident there, Opa-locka police is there. So if we have to have our own in-house data and statistics there. And I asked for that in-house, what 5-10 years of what that looks like. But if we're going here, but we're not looking at ourselves, like we're not looking at the data within our own organization. So that's what I think that's what we're asking for. That data, right, Chief, has to exist so that we can counter Miami-Dade County. And then my next question is, so you mean in order to install two stop signs, they have to approve it. Do we need to reach out to our county
I was just about to ask the
commissioners
same
That's-
so that we can have this conversation?
That's why we have to do, for any traffic control device, Miami-Dade County has to be the overarching authority on that. That's why every time we do a traffic study, we do a resolution directing Miami-Dade County to provide us with statistics and what's the next steps for ensuring that is done.
Well, I'm just saying, let's start there. Let's counter with our own in-house statistic. And I would like to see that in writing, because a lot of times, no offense, Mr. Austin, you know, okay. But a lot of times employees come up and say, this is what it is, but we see nothing. We don't get any paper that says, and so I'll say, well, show me this in writing, show me that in writing, and I don't see it. I mean, so if we get this in writing, then we will know for a fact that it's a fact. Okay, thank you.
Understood.
So Madam Manager, can you provide the correspondence to the commission as well as the study?
Yes.
So, and to Commissioner Williams's point, so maybe we need to do outreach to let them know that it is a problem in the city of Opa-locka.
Yes, as soon as I get that information from Mr. Austin, I'll share it with the commission.
Okay, and Vice Mayor had one second,
I'm
Commissioner
sorry.
Kelly, Vice Mayor.
Yes. It sounds like this is gonna take a while. And I could say that I attended a chief's dinner meeting on one of those islands last year. And I don't know if we got to get a permission from the county to do this, but all of their stop signs actually have some kind of light that goes up and down it goes up and down the whole pole. You have to see it. Maybe we can install that as a temporary fix that people could see it. Because it catches your eye right away. Maybe we can look into that to see if we can at least get those on our trouble spots. Is that something that we have to go through the county to get as well? Oh, Well, I was trying to speed up.
I know
the
they look
process.
good, though. They do look
It was good.
Mr.
It was
Mayor,
good. Yeah.
this is, we're kind of, we're all on the same page. My concern is this, when it came back, we couldn't do it, then to me, someone should have reached out to the police department that says, until we can come up with a solution, we need more visibility, more whatever in this area, because we're seeing it. And then to my colleague's point, when these accidents occurring, we got to have some data that happen morning, that happen midday, that happening rush hour, so that we can at least try to have some police presence until we get to the final answer, a solution. Because the way our process works, this is going up as a item. We hopefully will pass it to come back at the next meeting to actually go to the manager to do it. And then by the time as vice mayor said, it's going to be so long, we'll be at 60 and 90 days. We don't want to wait that long to try to do something. And I mean, by that time, the whole study might be back for the city in 90 days. But in the short term, those areas, whether it's 143rd or wherever has been identified because we got the data, we need to see increased presence, if you will, in those areas because we know there are challenges. And what's frustrating to me, and it's a part of me Monday request, 22nd Avenue coming out to Wilmington, those cars on the side blocking, where you can't see to get out from 21st Court, coming out to Wilmington, going back in. It's part of that same headache. So in the short term, because we're going to hopefully pass this, but it's going to be at least 60, 90 days before we can do something, even though we're probably going to reach out to the county. So Madam Manager, in the short term, especially in these areas that seem to continue to have the accidents, for whatever reason, we need to increase the police visibility, since we do have the data to kind of know when they're occurring, to at least slow it down, since we're aware of it. And that's really my frustrating part. I know the county does what they do and they take their own time, but that was on my concern. I was waiting for it to come through Meet Me Monday, but I'm glad it was brought up tonight. So, I'm going to support the legislation, but I hope we don't have to go through this on items of this kind of magnitude, because we're looking at 60 to 90 days before it would come back in some kind of final form. But as the mayor said, you can get us the information and we'll do what we can do. Thank you, sir.
I'll reach out to the county to see if we can install temporary signs, if they could install temporary signs until the study is complete.
Thank you. All right.
Okay.
So the first future agenda item by Commissioner Williams, and then we'll go down the line, is a traffic study on Jan and Ahmad. Can I get a motion? Moved by Vice Mayor,
Second.
second by Commissioner Williams. Madam Clerk.
Co-sponsor.
To Commissioner Williams, we want to co-sponsor with you. All right. We all want to co-sponsor.
Shaking my head.
You said, you like, we asked for the co-sponsor. You good?
Yes.
Okay, to co-sponsor with everybody. So, we're ready to call the question for the first agenda item.
Mr. Mayor, I know you mentioned about adding additional streets, so it's just Jan Avenue and Ahmad?
Yes.
Oh yeah, 17th and 143rd. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass. Yes. Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, and the second item from Commissioner Williams was the increase in code enforcement staffing. Can I get a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Vice Mayor. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes
Commissioner
5-0.
Bass, any future agenda items? No? I have a couple. So we're in the budget season. So we didn't do it last year, but I want to make sure it's done this year to decrease the millage rate in the city of Opa-locka. So that's my future agenda item. And while we're doing budget, I want to make sure that it is included in the upcoming budget.
What is the item is to?
Decrease the millage rate.
Okay, yes, okay, thank you.
So, and that's the first one. My second one is to create a citywide home rehabilitation program, prioritizing seniors and families in need I just want that program to run in tandem with the one that the CRA is currently doing, because I want to make sure everybody in the city of Opa-locka has an opportunity to that. So the CRA only covers one portion of the city, but I want to make sure that the city also develops a program to run in tandem with the CRA's program. So that's that, and the
To do what?
create a citywide home rehabilitation program. Similar to what the CRA is doing.
Okay.
Okay, and the third one, this is not a new item. We've been screaming about this for months, to install playgrounds with covering at every park in the city of Opa-locka. To add that, and I'm only doing this now because we're going into the budget, so I want to make sure that it is included in the budget. So those are my three future agenda items, and that's where I'm at. Can I get a motion on the millage rate decrease?
I'll move the millage rate.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Kelly. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Williams. Madam Clerk?
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, and the second item, can I get a motion to do the creation of a home?
Move it.
Oh, okay.
Second.
Can I get a, Madam Clerk?
Who moved and who seconded?
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Vice Mayor.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
and the installation of playgrounds with coverings at all parks in the city of Opa-locka.
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly,
when you get to the question.
Commissioner Williams.
I,
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
oh,
Go ahead.
no, do you have a question?
On this item or you?
Did Commissioner Kelly have a
I
question?
don't know. I heard.
Yes, I have a question. I know when you want to do it now or after you get your first motion and second, because I was going to proffer an item, but I wasn't waiting for the budget process. I wanted it done now because there's actually money allocated for playgrounds. And since the manager, I didn't want to go too deep into that with the park system, et cetera. But your item really is trying to make sure it's encapsulated in the budget for next
Oh, no.
year.
I would rather it be done now, but.
Well, I heard you mention
yeah,
part of the budget process.
More or less a millage rate for that one. And
No, not the millage rate. I'm saying for the playground.
Mhm.
You mentioned because we're going to be in the budget process.
Right.
I was going to proffer one not for the future, but for like now. I want to, because those playgrounds have been the issue for a long time too. And I really wanted to wait on the whole system, but
well, I can change it to make sure it happens.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm
say,
gonna change it now within. I'm sorry.
I think, well, my question about, which I'm all for anything playground. If there is a plan in place to redo the playground with the covering, if we don't know the specifics, you know what I'm saying, the square footage or all that stuff, will we have to now return back to recover or? Cause
Well,
I mean, we're kind of covering like
No,
old
I wanna
playground
put
material.
New playgrounds with coverings. That's
Oh,
what I'm saying, playgrounds with
okay, so
covering.
I'm-
'Cause
that's-
the playgrounds that are there now, they
No,
cannot be-
no,
Okay.
so it's the playground with
With
covering.
covering. I just wanted to make sure it was with covering, because that came up in, okay.
Yeah,
All right, so the only change would be to ensure that it happens as soon as possible. You want to put a timeline on it, Commissioner Kelly?
no, I don't want to wait for the budget. I want it as soon as possible because it's a shame we have to piecemeal things, and the playground is one of those that, the community's been talking about, rightfully so. But it goes to the bigger picture of the whole park system improvement. And that was something I was going to mention in my report, but since it came up with our consultant, Miller Legg, for the whole park master plan, which didn't show up to the town hall, and still haven't seen them yet. So I want to know where they are on that, because it really goes to the point Commissioner Williams was making. But since it seems like we got to kind of piecemeal some of these things, because otherwise it's as though we're not listening to the community or hearing what they're saying regarding playground. And I hear it every month, and maybe Monday. So I don't want to say budget. I want to say as soon as possible. It's just an item. We can come back. When it comes back, we can flush it out or whatever, but.
Mr. Mayor, can I?
Okay,
speak
so-
with you?
Sure.
Mhm.
And so what we know Commissioner Kelly is a co-sponsor because he said he was already gonna do it, Commissioner Williams, every morning. Cause you know.
I'm
yeah.
tired of talking about it.
Yeah, we're
tired
tired
of talking about it.
All right,
I know.
everybody's a co-sponsor on that one. And we had, who's the motion, who made the motion? Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Kelly. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Williams?
Yes.
Commissioner Bath?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Mayor Taylor?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
And we're still going down the line. Vice Mayor, do you have any future agenda items?
I do. One is to have the manager to research the benefits that the commission used to get and the reason as to why they were interrupted and the legality of the interruption that happened.
Okay, to research commission benefits.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, any questions to the sponsor on, is that the only one or you?
Oh, I have another one. You want me to go ahead and get the other
And
one?
then we'll vote.
The other one is to have an attorney present at all board meetings and special masters hearings.
Okay. So let's start with the first one, which is to research commission benefits. And you said ask and why.
Right, because they were we used to receive, well, you all used to receive benefits, but a city manager removed those benefits from you all, from,
Got it.
you got,
All right,
y'all,
got it. Can I get a motion?
I'm tired, I'm sorry,
It's
y'all
okay.
understood what I'm
Maybe
talking about.
No, I just wanted real quick, and also, not to add, but, I know we had a stipend, the monthly stipend, and there was one thing that we were able to do, and then, I don't know, would that
All benefits.
coincide? All benefits,
All
thank you.
benefits,
Okay,
all
perfect.
benefits.
All right, can I get a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Baz. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Bath?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
It's gonna be so much fun. Yes.
Commissioner Williams?
Yes.
Mayor Taylor?
Commissioner Kelly took the words right out of my mouth. Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
And the second item that she had was to ensure that legal was at all board meetings and magistrate hearings.
Yes.
You wanna, can I get a motion on that one?
Real quick, I'm so sorry, Mr. Mayor, but don't, all the boards need to be clerked, correct? Do they also need to be clerked?
Are all the board, I'm not sure if they're all clerked right now. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that they are.
They're not,
They're not.
because I'm saying if they were clerked, then rules of order would be written into, would be said or those things. So I'm just curious.
So, Mr. Mayor?
Commissioner, I'm sorry. Madam Clerk, it's
In
been a
ter-
long night.
In terms of the board meetings, the manager is responsible for assigning clerks to each of the boards. And the boards that are currently active, to my understanding, I believe there are clerks on those boards.
Every board, there's some type of, all boards, like a rule of, or, some type of standard of procedures, standards and rules and procedures. Are those mentioned by the clerk, whoever's clerking the boards every meeting? You know how you
Yes.
read into record for citizens forum?
So initially, when a board is in place, they do have like an orientation meeting for new members. And typically the board clerk would go over that ordinance with the board members as a part of that orientation. Now, I can't respond as to whether or not that has taken place. I know in terms of the historic preservation and planning and zoning, that does take place. Planning and community development, they have orientation. My office is responsible for providing training in terms of the ethics law and things of that nature, which we recently had a training by Miami-Dade Commission on Ethics, and it was well attended. For the most part, the majority, I would say 95% of the members attended, so.
That was it. Thank you.
And Mr. Mayor?
I was, one second. The only thing I'm a little, and it's just this future agenda, so we don't really need to debate, but don't worry about it. If it passes, I'll bring it up there. Madam Attorney?
Yes, I just want to add that if this item is voted upon, that there be the fiscal impact associated with it attached to it, because not at least for the issue that has come to my attention that the vice mayor may be bringing this up for, that is really just maybe a rules of procedure type of thing. It's not something that is in need of legal for. And
that's
so
what I'm
I just
thinking.
don't, you know what I mean? And I don't know that we are going to, I don't know if that's the best and highest use of our time to sit in, certain board meetings where we're not needed. Now, we do cover some, obviously we cover, if there's planning and zoning and charter review and things like that. But for the issue that was raised, I just don't know that that's the answer for it.
Mr. Mayor,
Okay.
so if I may ask, when we have our the magistrate meetings, who is there to protect the city? Because the magistrate is there as like a judge. So
Yeah.
who's in those meetings, who is in those meetings to protect the city?
Yeah, and as we talked
Okay.
about before,
Madam Attorney,
well,
one second. I want to stop the debate because it's not necessary, because we're not voting today. So we're just voting to add it as legislation. And I will support it because I believe in autonomy and resolution and ordinance. So we can move forward. We don't need to go back and forth on the debate on that. So can I get a motion to add it to the agenda? Moved by Commissioner Bass. Can I get a second? Second by Vice Mayor. Jesus Christ. Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor
This is to add
Irvin,
it to the
Yes.
agenda. We can discuss it then.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner Bath,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes
All right.
5-0.
Did you have another agenda?
No, sir,
item?
that's
Okay.
it.
Commissioner Kelly, do you have any future agenda items?
No, I don't have any future agenda. I don't know. That was the only one I had.
Okay. All right. So we're moving along to our mayor and commission report. We'll start right to left because Commissioner Williams says I always start with her. So Commissioner Kelly, we'll start with you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We held a town hall at Siegel Park last Thursday to hear from residents that the mayor co-hosted. I want to thank those able to make it, residents and my colleagues, to hear from residents and to dispel rumors about park programming and or the park was being closed. And I will say this for the record, I'm going to be moving aggressively to move forward in addressing our park system because it's taking too long to move the park system. And when I say that, I don't mean just Ingram Park, but I mean the whole park system. So I'm going to work towards that as well. We held our monthly Feeding South Florida distribution at Siegel Park last Friday. We encourage residents to take advantage of the program. As I mentioned earlier, we are still securing the data so the commission can make a decision on the viability of the program for the next fiscal year. Also, we supported our 98th city birthday celebration from bingo to karaoke and the gospel in the park. So I commend my colleagues who took the lead on that, the vice mayor and Commissioner Bass, as always, to be supportive of things when I can in the city. We hosted our monthly Meet Me Monday last Monday at Renew Bethel Church on 151st and 27th. We did submit the concerns and are waiting the responses from the manager's office via the 10-day as passed by the resolution. So we have a couple more days to receive those. We are working on coming forward, co-hosting with the mayor the Father's Day fishing tournament and barbecue, father-child fishing over at Ingram Park on the day before Father's Day. You hear more about that. So also working on Fun Day at Ingram Park for July the 20th for the community to come out. And I want to mention, because we had initially looked at August the 3rd for the special needs back to school fair. which obviously includes book bags and things. But then I learned that the citywide date is for the 3rd as well. And so I'm going to work to try to switch the date because special needs is going to be at Helen Miller Center, but I'm working on getting some donations for that. It's something we started a few years ago because, as we know, kids with special needs can't do a lot of the things that the kids would do at a lot of our regular back to school events. And that brings me to a concern that I have, because when I asked, was the date available and was anything going on, I was told no, that there was nothing happening, only to find out that I guess the city's book bag, whatever, is the same day. So I would hope we don't run into that challenge going forward when we're doing dates. And I don't know how that occurred, but it should not happen when you ask, is the date available, and you're told that it is, and then find out later that it's not. So we need to do a better job of that. That concludes my report for tonight. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Kelly. Vice Mayor?
Yes, thank you. My son out there. Hey, baby. Yes. Okay.
This is not the time for you to do shout outs. Do your report so we can go home.
Our Mother's Day fish fry was a huge success. I thank you and congratulations to those of you that won really nice gifts. And it melted my heart to do it more than it did you guys, trust me. And also thank you to all the men that served the women, even though Commissioner Kelly over here offered to wrap some forks. They were already
But I did pull those good raffle tickets and they got the good gifts, so.
He did do that. Yes, he did. And thank you for my colleagues that came out to support that cause. Also, the city did celebrate its 98th bingo. The celebration for me was amazing. Bingo, we had over 200 plus people there in attendance. The birthday party the next day, I think everybody that was there is now about 15 shades darker because that sun did not come to play on Saturday. Did not come to play. Karaoke was great. The gospel concert was even greater. And residents, we put forth a lot of effort between Parks and Rec, the commission, the city manager's office, the police department. We do a lot to put these events together where they are attended, but you all could do better. You all could come out more and enjoy what the city is providing for you, because there's nothing that bothers me more than people saying that, oh, I didn't know. But then when I talk to them later, they say, oh yeah, we watched the commission meeting. So I'm gonna get ready to give y'all a breakdown through August 3rd. Thank you. On Monday, we're gonna have Parks and Rec will be having a pool party over at Shabundi from noon to 6. And June 14th is going to be the Father's Day and Juneteenth bingo at Shabundi Park at 6. Write it down. June 22nd, we're going to have our Juneteenth picnic at Shabundi from noon to 6. July 4th is going to be the 4th of July community picnic and fireworks show. Now it's going to start at 10, and I guess once dark come and we light our fireworks, then it'll be over. And August 3rd is the book bag giveaway for the city, which will be festive. Those are my save the dates. And Park and Rec is currently registering for children for cheer and football from ages 5 to 15 years old. Also, our city also have a summer camp program that starts June 17th. And it's my understanding that we'll be able to start registering. The registration packets will be ready about May 29th. And I have one more congratulations. Well, I have a congratulations to our flag football teams. The 10U and the 12U were the champions. They received championship rings and everything. And I do want to say thank you to everyone that made the weekend, the 98th birthday party weekend go off without a hitch. I spoke to Mr. King to tell him how great of a job that his staff did in his absence. They were amazing. Parks and Rec did a great job. Police Department did a great job. The city manager's office, the clerk's office, everybody did a great job. And for that, I am ever so grateful. And that, to my knowledge, I think I had one more thing. I wrote it on the wrong page, I think. Let's see. Oh, this week is Public Works. So I want to say congratulations for Public Works Week, the best public works department ever. And I talked to you about the dogs. And I want to also thank all the residents that came out to the town hall meeting that was held today. I want all of our residents to know that I heard them loud and clear. And thanks for coming out and speaking their piece. Thank you. Until later. Have a nice evening.
Commissioner Bath?
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to the manager's office, to our city attorney who came out and supported chess. We had 12 new players, and that was good. 12 new players came to participate and who loved the game. So I'm looking forward to see more growth of our chess club in the city of Opa-locka. Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Williams?
Okay, I'll real quick. Thank you everyone that had a part with this birthday celebration. It was a great weekend. I need a redo. I need a karaoke redo. Because I had my song queued up, but lights went out. I want to congratulate all the graduating seniors. Give them a hand, everybody. All the graduating seniors that, and let me tell you, it gets harder and harder each year to graduate or be graduation ready. So, and for those that are going to college, career, technical, we're here for you and we're excited. And just so that you know, I'm not biased. By the way, Carroll City's graduation is May 28th. I don't know who went there, but they're up first. So that's around the corner. And then lastly, the Charter Review Board, if we can get that going, I believe we have a quorum now. And this will be next. I'm not sure if this will be legislation, but moving into summer to just have that our strategic planning, because I know we've said it will be 30 days, but we need to make sure we plan it and it's successful. Did I take you? I'm always reading your mind. And that's it. And thank you all. Have a great, enjoyable, restful Memorial weekend. But thank you, Vice Mayor, for planning a pool party. You will see Jalen. Thank you all.
Okay, and I'll go, Madam Manager, do we have any updates on Gloria Gardens or the oversight, financial oversight?
The manager would be providing those updates via email.
Via email?
Yes.
Okay, so also, we are rapidly approaching our deadline for evaluations of our charter officers. So I've asked the clerk to ensure that she emails everybody the evaluation tool so that you all can complete them and give them back to her to clock in, and then we can meet with our charter officers one-on-one and move it forward, and we're passing the legislation at a later time. Also, and I think the last day for that, if I'm not mistaken, Madam Clerk, is June 1st. Per resolution, June 1st, right?
Yes.
June 1st, okay. Also, Commissioner Williams already said it. We need to set our goals and performance objectives in a strategic planning session for the city manager so he understands what our expectation is of him going forward and how we want to see the city move in the upcoming year. So I look forward to us planning a strategic planning session as soon as possible within the summertime so that we can have that conversation And outside of that, we are all aware that what the state was telling us in our individual meetings. So we need to ensure that we give a copy of our events and initiatives to the manager's office to be included into the budget, as well as what was those? It was the memberships that we want to be a part of. So they asked us to give that in advance so that it can be included in the budget. So my thing is just take your time, write it all out, put it in detail, and send it to the manager's office so that we're all on the same page in the upcoming year. Commissioner Williams talked about the Charter Review Board, and I've been asking about that for the longest, but I've been told that we don't have a clerk for it, but I know we have quorum. You're not the clerk for it's through the manager's office. So you are the clerk for the Charter Review Board?
So the issue, Mr. Mayor, may I?
Uh-huh.
So we had a delay in getting the information back from the board members that were appointed. And we do have deadlines in terms of Miami-Dade County
And that was
elections.
my next question. Is it
Yes.
even worth it?
When, by when the legislation has to be submitted for the election. I can provide the deadlines to you all first thing tomorrow morning. And I guess we can go from there. I'll reach out to the members again, so that they can complete all the information that's required.
Okay, and I believe that Commissioner, it's not here. So that's it for my report. And also, Madam Manager, please ask the manager to include in the report what happened this past week with Gloria. Okay, all right. Do we have any official board I'm sorry,
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly?
I thought you were going to mention, Mr. Mayor, about the flag dedication ceremony.
Oh, and I had it right in front of me.
Yeah, I thought you was. That's why I didn't mention
I'm
it.
sorry. So we know that Vice Mayor had already said it, that this is Public Works Appreciation Week. And this week it's Friday, the 24th at 12 noon at the Public Works Department. There will be a plaque dedication ceremony for Mr. Kendrick McPhee. And all of you know that he was one of our Public Works members that passed away here recently. And we want to celebrate him by presenting that plaque at the building, for the building. Okay.
And then lunch to follow.
And lunch to follow. So that will be Friday at 12 noon at the Public Works Building. I'm sure we'll post the flyer on our social media sites. Vice Mayor, you had something?
I do. I am so sorry. I must have been zoned out when you mentioned official board reports. I should not have to feel the need to clean our face, but I do, for the record, in the words of Commissioner Kelly, for the record, I must state that every meeting, when you ask for official board reports, no one comes to the podium and give us a report. And I've said before that we need to get reports from these boards. And for us to for it to be said that we're not responding to that we're getting reports and we're not getting reports, I have a problem, because the Community Relations Board met and we were accused of not responding to anything that they give us. And for the record, we are not receiving reports from any boards. Nobody's giving us reports. And there's a lot more I want to say about that, but it's late.
Okay.
So that I just wanted for the record that we're not receiving reports. We should be receiving some kind, if they meet, they should come to this podium and give us a report.
Got it.
And it's not happening, but we're being accused of it happening and we're just not responding to them. And that's not true.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. So as we're moving on to board appointments, do we have any board appointments for tonight? All right. If all hearts and minds are clear, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Vice Mayor. This meeting is adjourned. Commissioner Kelly said, no, you're gonna be here by yourself. This meeting is adjourned.
All by yourself.